Hi YouTubers, welcome back to Diecast Culture, and we're going to take a look at just a few things that you see in front of you. The video would be way too long if we did everything. So just before we start, I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that I got from the Eastbourne International Air Show in Sussex, UK. First up is this Diecast Aeroplane. It is described as Aichi D3A1 Type 99 Carrier Bomber Model 11 Japan. Looks like it was a Japanese fighter during the Second World War, and this is totally die-cast, all metal, very heavy. And it's approximately 1/64 scale, I would think. The reason I bought it is because it would be a great backdrop, I think, to a bit of die-cast photography of Hot Wheels with this plane sitting in the background. And if I just get Hot Wheels next to it, that just gives you an idea of the scale, which is probably about right. I will probably do a separate video just unboxing that and assembling it. You need to put on the wheels, propeller, and looks like there's a bomb there too. No brand whatsoever. It may be printed on the base of the aircraft, possibly. This Majorette Gazelle Helicopter, and when I was a kid I had a green version of this, although I think, in fact, the metal to plastic ratio was the same, but the rear propeller to rear tail plane was made of I think, better quality plastic. So the rotors unfold on this, and it's, from memory, 1/72 scale, but it would pass for 1/64. It's quite nice amount of detail. There you go. Last of all, from the Eastbourne Air Show is this guy, a Super Kings K92 helicopter, 1982, by Lesney, Matchbox. And it's kind of a bit of a dumpy looking helicopter. I don't know whether it's based on a real one. Could well be. And it's obviously got floats on it so it can land on water. And these look like crop sprayers. They fold in. And there's a cargo hook there as well. Not sure what this is. And I think you can safely say the scale on that is probably about 1/64. I thought that would look quite cool on a low bed truck being taken away somewhere. From the Royal National Lifeboat Institute, B-Class Atlantic 85 lifeboat, and this is a rigid inflatable. In terms of scale, it probably is near a 1/72 scale, but it's a really big boat in real life for an inflatable. And again, when you pop it next to Hot Wheels, it could really be any sized inflatable on the back of a trailer being pulled by a car or pickup truck. So we'll take a closer look at that another time. Back to what you see in front of you, and we'll start with the Baja Bug. And I've just done a video on the Baja Bug thanks to a YouTuber, Deville, who corrected me on the Baja pronunciation. So I've just got a marker pen to this to add a little bit more detail. I did a wheel swap shown in the last video, so I've added headlights, spotlights, side markers, and couple of rear lights. I don't know whether those rear lights are in the right position, but I just thought it might be worth doing. And I don't have a chrome marker at the moment, otherwise I would have chromed the exhaust and engine parts on that. I'm very happy on the finished result of that. Next up is this Renault 01 Sport. This is made by Norev, and I am a fan of Norev, just as I am of Majorette. Norev make 1/64 scale cars in quite nice detail, and they cost more than Hot Wheels, but they're not actually that expensive. As you can see, it's really nice speed of detail. So I've already got one of these in matte black, but I couldn't resist this ultra cool paint scheme. You put it next to a Hot Wheels, they're the same scale. Okay, moving on is this Renault Alpine, again by Norev. Really nice detail, very happy with this. The wheels are great, and it's got quite a nice detailed black interior with a proper steering wheel. And in terms of scale, I've got a feeling it's spot on 1/64. It's not a huge casting, but I don't think the Renault Alpine of this time was a big car. Yeah, Alpine A110, Renault toys. This Volvo Estate I got quite a while ago. Fan of the Volvo Estate, such a cool car. And this dates back to probably about 1990 or thereabouts. And there is a lady who lives in our road with exactly the same car in the same colour. I think Hot Wheels could have done a better job on the rear, particularly with that plastic tab where the license plate should go. I think it could have been designed a bit better. Otherwise, love the lights, they've got that well done well. Is Ryu Asada, the Hot Wheels designer. Next up is this little fella. This must be one of the coolest BMWs. Bmw I Setter. And without looking it up, I don't know which decade this comes from, probably early 60s, I would say. And it is tiny, just big enough for, what, 2 people, I suppose, yeah. And it is vaguely a left-hand drive. I guess it wouldn't matter which side of the car the steering wheel is on because it is so narrow. And the wheels are tiny, but it rolls. Okay, we have a, oh, that's made by Schuko. Okay, we have another Norev, and this is a beautiful car, the Citroen Ds. Some might call it an ugly duckling, particularly when viewed from the front. And it's got a really narrow tapered rear. I'm not sure whether Norev got the proportions on this right. To me, it looks too tall. I think if you look at the DS in real life, it's slightly, the roof is slightly lower. I may be wrong, that's just my impression. You've got a nice interior there with the very Citroen steering wheel, which is a single spoke. But Citroens, particularly from this era, leading up for the next decade or so, they're really elegant designs, and particularly if you've ever ridden in a Citroen with pneumatic suspension, they just waft down the highway. They have a ride quality equivalent to the best Rolls-Royce of the day, I guess. Really impressive. I think as a casting, Norev don't have the weight of a Hot Wheels. Even Hot Wheels with plastic bases are quite solid castings. This Norev, also with a plastic base, I think the metal is probably thinner. It just feels perhaps not as solid. We've got another Norev coming up, and this one is, in my opinion, 100% 1/64 scale. This was a really, I think, a very nice family car of its day. Citroen Gs. By today's standards, if you saw it on the road, it would be really small. And Norev have got the scaling on this completely right, I think. So if you put it next to this Renault 01, there's an obvious width difference. And yeah, I think that's probably about right. But I really do like this. It's got a really lovely interior. Seats are very detailed and correctly shaped. I love that period colour, sort of primrose, delicate yellow with a black dash. And just very nicely done by Norev. Could do with a little bit more detail on the back. But yeah, look at the top of those seats there. You can see how they're ribbed. And those headlights are, yeah, they are lensed, so it's a plastic, clear plastic over silvered plastic. I do like that. Next up we have 1956 Powell Sport Pickup by Matchbox, and once again, do like this. I may have covered this in a previous video, but let's have a look at it again, and why not? I think Matchbox have done a great job on this. My criticism though is, why did they do the back window like that? So you can see that they've picked out the back window frame, but for some reason they've made the whole of it as plastic. The actual window would have been where you can see where the outline of it is. My only guess is that Matchbox wanted to save on metal, as it's more expensive than plastic. But in my opinion, what a shame. Other than that, I can't fault it. I think it's great. Interesting thing about this particular pickup is just above the license plate, you've got two circular discs which unscrew, and they were to you could put your fishing rods in the back. So you'd unscrew those, and the fishing rods would go into this section here. That's how they marketed it at the time. It's quite a utilitarian looking vehicle, and I think that's partly because from what I recall, the Powell was made from other car parts. I don't think the bodywork was made specifically for this vehicle. Another Norev, and this paintwork is fantastic. Ice creams. Citroen van. Love the corrugation detail of this casting, and it's a good size. The next one up is the Cadillac, which you can see just to the left of the picture. 1979 Cadillac Sedan Deville, and this is the same size as the Coupe Deville, which just had 2 doors. The Coupe Deville has been made by Auto World, and when you put them side by side, the scale is exactly the same. They've been done really well. I do have one criticism on this Caddy, this green light version, and that is the side glass is sticking out slightly just here. That should be more recessed. The other side is slightly better, so that is a green light build issue. The other thing about this Caddy is that the windscreen appears quite tall when you put it next to the Auto World one, which I think is slightly better casting in general. Has a slightly lower windscreen. Otherwise, this is such a great car, and when you put it next to another 1/64 scale vehicle, you can just see the size of it, the length for one. Here is the packaging for it. Green like Hollywood, Rocky. His whole life was 1,000,000 to 1 shot. And there he is in the ring. Rocky versus Apollo. It's quite nice. Next up is this Custom Otto, and I really do like this. This is an unlicensed Hot Wheels designed by Otto Cuny, who is a Hot Wheels designer. He designed a lot of artwork in the late 60s for Hot Wheels, and this clearly is a kind of American muscle car, and I just do love the lines on it. So if you look at it from above, the car widens over the rear haunches, and what a fantastic colour as well. Sort of 70s brown highlights along the side. Really do like this one. In my opinion, this is one of those ones which competes with a more recent unlicensed design by Hot Wheels called the Di, which is just another classic non-branded Hot Wheels design. And here is Otto Cuny's artwork from the 60s. Just very vivid imagery showing the speed of the car. Just love those colours. Certainly very talented. That reminds me of a lot of drawings which Foose made. Similar flair. This is a 1966 Ford Bronco, and I love the Hawaiian artwork along the sides. That is just gorgeous. Tropical flowers. So nice. And just look at those 70s or 60s surfboards. I must say the foils are a little bit on the thick side. Those foils should be 1/10 of the thickness and probably 50% smaller. Never mind. Very nice interior. This is a Johnny Lightning. You can see the seat belts. And for Johnny Lightning, it's correctly scaled 1/64 scale. Very often Johnny Lightning produce smaller, say 170 scale. But yeah, I think that's a cracking example. And here is the artwork. Just reminds you of sunny beach holidays and being happy. Okay, this collection is getting a little bit smaller. We're going to take a quick look at the Gulf racing car on the far right. So this is a Grand Am Daytona prototype, and very unusual design. This is a green light product from the Running on Empty series with Gulf livery, and very pleased I've got this. It's got a metal base and it's nice, got a nice weight to it. When you look at it from above, just got a gorgeous flowing design. And this is a really nice detail here. You've got what I guess is the engine, and I don't know whether that gold piece is a metal piece or whether it's just plastic, but it looks pretty solid looking. It's really quite a nice detail to have. So just to give you a bit of context, there is the Powell Sport next to it. Greenlight have done such a great job on this. Got so much nice detail to it. And there is the card art that came with it, Running on Empty series. The Grand Am Daytona prototype was sitting on this Gulf lift. This is a Greenlight product, quite nicely done. You can adjust the height of this lift. You have to unclip the ramp from the uprights, and you've got a couple of positions you can put there. These move. So we've got 5 Corgi Major trucks to look at, and Corgi Major is a branch of Corgi based between 1958 and around about 1970. And I think I covered this in a previous video. Not a massive amount of detail, but a very durable toy. The hopper opens with this. And it's around about 1/60 scale. This moves like that. And this is a Berlier French truck. Complete with driver. There is a lever which you pull back and that detaches. But yeah, quite nice detail. Wheels are okay. Next up is this Ford H series cab from more or less the mid-60s, and this is a wrecker, and the detail on this is just second to none. So we've got squashy suspension front and rear, and this is all metal. Just check out that base. So much detail. The arms are all metal. There's a metal hook there. I've got the other hook and ball for the other side. Just need to attach it. And you can operate with your fingers, the cogs here, to pull the chain through. But yeah, just such a lovely product. And again, it is 1/60 scale, more or less, so just a fraction bigger than a Hot Wheels in terms of scale. But I think they go together okay. The only bit of plastic on it is this front plate here, bumper. That is plastic. This red thing is plastic, but the rest is metal, apart from the rubber tyres. I think the two go together quite well. Okay guys, so that just leaves the two fire trucks and the car transporter, all Corgi Majors, and also behind that is the Fast and Furious set. So I'm going to leave this for another video, and take care everybody, and hope you've enjoyed this, seeing some varied diecast old and new, and speak to you soon. Bye.